10 seconds to go. I know they don't like. Good morning, Sarasota. We're going to ask you to rise in body and or spirit and sing with all your heart. Our opening hymn, this is our song. This is my song.
This is my own, the country where my heart Good morning, and welcome. My name is Klaus Obermeit. My passion is helping to make this hour on Sunday a special time of connection, contemplation, inspiration, and motivation. I work closely with Reverend Jay and his staff, our worship team, our multimedia team, our talented and dedicated musicians, and our website team. We want to extend a warm welcome to our visitors, both on campus and over live stream. We invite you to participate in any of our events. You can find out more about us and Unitarian Universalism by going to our website at uusrq.org. Once there, you'll find a series of links to let you sign our virtual guest book. If you're here in person, you may sign up at the welcome table. If you do, we will send you our weekly newsletter and Zoom links to our virtual events. We invite you to join us for coffee and conversation after the service. We look forward to getting to know each other. And then today at 11:45, you are invited to join our Rainbow Alliance for their monthly potluck and meeting in the Reeb Room. And now it's my pleasure to welcome to our stage Syreeta Banks.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Picket lines and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Ooh. Mother, everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply 'cause our hair is long. You know we've got to find a way to bring some understanding here today. Picket lines and picket signs, oh, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me and you will see, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Thank you, and there's more to come. Consider the words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We will not build a peaceful world by following a negative path. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but on the positive affirmation of peace. We must see that peace represents a sweeter music, a cosmic melody that is far superior to the discords of war. Somehow, we must transform the dynamics of the world power struggle from the negative nuclear arms race, which no one can win, to a positive contest to harness man's creative genius for the purpose of making peace and prosperity a reality for all the nations of the world. In short, we must shift the arms race into a peace race. If we have the will and determination to mount such a peace offensive, we will unlock hitherto tightly sealed doors of hope and transform our imminent cosmic elegy into a psalm of creative fulfillment. Please join me now as we light the chalice and affirm our value of transformation, which is printed in your order of service and will be displayed on the screen behind me. We adapt to the changing world. We govern, we collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages, never complete and never perfect.
Good morning, everyone. Today's story is aptly named Peace, written by Baptiste and Miranda Paul and illustrated by Estelle Meza. Peace is a hello, a smile, a hug. Peace can be bold or quiet and snug. Peace is pronouncing your friend's name correctly. Peace means we talk to each other directly. Peace can begin with a laugh and a wave and grow into actions remarkably brave. Peace comes from giving far more than you take. It's something we work toward. It's something we make. Peace is on purpose. Peace is a choice. Peace lets the smallest of us have a voice. Peace follows, I'm sorry, and can let differences live. It spreads and it strengthens when hearts can forgive. Peace is a pillow that softens our sleep. Peace pulls us through darkness or up from the deep. Peace is old like the stars and new as a birth. And if we embrace it, peace cradles the earth. Peace can come. It's all up to you. It just depends on the path that you will choose. Can you see the other as yourself? Can you see their struggles and cries for help? Can you see that we all long for peace, to live our lives with comfort and with these, enough to eat, shelter over our head, to live our life fully without the dread of someone trying to harm us or make us dead, to have love and fun and family and care, to be with each other where we can share. So stop the war and stop the fight. Use your words, keep an open mind, lift up your neighbor, do no harm, and if we do, then peace can come. I now invite any children and youth to join the teachers for an art project on peace in the West Wing. And if you're new here, just follow me. Thank you.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. When I go to the movie and I go downtown, and somebody keeps telling me, don't you hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. When I go to my brother and I say, brother, won't you help me please? But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. And there were times when I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Oh, thank you, sir. That's just beautiful. Thank you. Okay, by the way, I'm Reverend J. Wolin, the settled minister here at the Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota. And today, for our centering words, we have a prayer for veterans and active service members. Spirit of life and love in which we live and move and have our very being. We enter into this season of Memorial Day surrounded by such a cloud of witnesses. We remember, first of all, the service members who currently are in the armed services, and we pray for their safe return. We also acknowledge that there are service members who may not return and who have not returned, and we grieve their passing. Let us pause just a moment to honor their service and their sacrifice. We also pause this hour to give thanks for all the people who have served in our nation's armed services. Those who have not served cannot fully imagine the experience of war, but we do know war's aftermath and the toll that it can take on the human heart. This day remembers and acknowledges loss, and so do we remember those whom we have loved and lost. We hold their names and their faces in our mind's eye. We recall the gifts that they gave us through the strength of their being, the depth of their love, the courage of their dying, and the fullness of their living. In the holy quiet of this moment, may their names surround us, and they live with us in blessed memory. As we go into our time of silence, let us contemplate the ultimate sacrifice and what that means to us. Amen. So this Memorial Day, as our country is again involved in a Middle Eastern war, I am saddened to think of all the unnecessary death and destruction that humans create. Memorial Day asks us to honor, sacrifice, and courage, and we should. But it should also force us to ask difficult questions. Why generation after generation, century after century, does humanity continue to send its young adults into war? Yes, there are some wars we can look back on and say they are just wars. I'm not here today to argue the merits of that. It just seems like our country has always been at war. And so many of those wars were built on manufactured pretexts. The American wars against the indigenous nations began before the United States was even a formal country, and continued. I was really surprised that the last war of the United States against indigenous peoples didn't end until the early 1900s. And some would say it continues on today even, as land was continually taken from the original inhabitants of this country. The Mexican-American War, formally started in 1848, was provoked in part through expansionist ambitions and ended with America taking control of what is today most of the southwestern United States and California. The Spanish-American War began in 1898 with the slogan, "Remember the Maine," after President McKinley claimed that the warship USS Maine had been blown up by Spanish saboteurs, a claim that subsequent investigation showed was almost certainly an accidental explosion from within the ship's own munitions compartment. And the result, the United States acquired control over Cuba, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. The Vietnam War escalated after the Gulf of Tonkin incident, parts of which were later shown to be misleading or fabricated. And as well we know from the Pentagon Papers that the Unitarian Universalist Beacon Press printed when no one else would, showed that the government knew that they were losing the war and could not win, and yet continued on year after year fighting. The second Iraq War rested on false claims about weapons and mass destruction. And now in Iran, a war whose justification has shifted 6 or 7 times since it began. The president seems to have settled on ending Iran's nuclear ambitions that were supposedly destroyed a year ago after our attack then, and weapons that had been eliminated before this very president canceled a diplomatic agreement in his first term. And I just read, actually this morning, I hate to read the paper in the morning of a service, but that they are negotiating a peace agreement. That's why I shouldn't read papers in the morning of a service. And the thing about nuclear weapons isn't even part of the discussion yet. So it's just, who knows why we went to war? I think we may have some ideas about that, but again and again, right, this nation just creates narratives to make war appear necessary, righteous, and inevitable. We are primed for these wars as a people, right? But we are primed by fear, and fear is often manufactured. Sam Keane wrote in Faces of the Enemy, I quote, "In the beginning, we create the enemy. Before the weapons comes the image. Propaganda precedes technology," end quote. Before the fighting starts, right, we create caricatures. We exaggerate differences. We reduce human beings into symbols of danger or evil. We tell ourselves stories about how barbaric, uncivilized, or threatening the other side is. We are taught to fear constantly. Fear immigrants, fear foreigners, fear our neighbors, fear those with different religions, fear those with different politics, fear those who look different from us. And fear is what is damaging, because fear narrows our moral imagination. Sometimes there are real dangers in the world. I don't want to deny that. And human history has shown us that it includes violence, oppression, and cruelty, and we must have the courage to stand up to that. But too often, violence is our first language rather than a last resort. We need to develop the courage to speak truth to our leaders, demanding that they act morally, or we need to elect those who will. President Trump recently said we have to take care of one thing: military protection. We have to guard the country. It's not possible for us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, and Medicare. Literally, and that is what he said. But we are the richest country in the world. with significantly more GDP, gross domestic product, than any other nation. We spend more on military than any other nation on earth by an enormous margin. And yet we are ranked as the 24th country in social spending as a percentage of our GDP. We make choices as a society in our policies and in our practices about who we care for and who we don't. And we have been choosing war over caring for our people. And war, I mean, I think about this, I mean, this affects so many people. They cut out SNAP benefits this year, food. While we are bombing other countries, we are cutting food for our neighbors. But war comes with a cost far beyond economics. You know, when I was growing up, the Vietnam War was still active, not to age myself, but it was. And I knew people from my neighborhood who were drafted into the military service. Others enlisted because poverty left them few alternatives. And others were actually coerced to enlist in the armed services with the alternative threat of going to prison for some nonviolent crime they may have committed or was manufactured. But today we have a volunteer military. And I want to say many people serve with honor, discipline, and courage. Many build meaningful lives through military service. I know many who that has been true for. But we also know the price that war exacts, the price of human lives, the price of wounded bodies, the price of trauma that's carried for decades, the price paid by the families, the price paid by our human soul. These are too high a price to pay for our nation, if you ask me, for our people and for our souls. And there is just another moral contradiction that just bugs me deeply. As a nation, we praise veterans publicly, as we should, but too often we fail to care for them afterward. This administration speaks about patriotism while at the same time cutting staff and support that our returning veterans need. And that, to me, is unconscionable. War leaves nations afraid. And when societies are governed by fear, we begin to lose perspective. We fear for our safety, for our jobs, for our future, for our identity. And fear makes it easier to surrender compassion, to surrender wisdom, to surrender moral clarity. Theologian Reinhold Niebuhr wrote, and I quote, "We must resist our dreams of managing history." And yet, and that's the end of the quote, and yet we try to manage history by telling stories that only through force and dominance can we overcome our fear. Well, I am telling you, we need to tell a new story, a story of peace. Peace does not simply happen. Peace is not passive, right? Peace requires us to actively work for it day in and day out. Peace requires telling hard truths. Peace requires listening not only to our own stories, but to the stories of others, right? Peace requires humility. It requires imagination. And if we want peace, we have to do the hard work of creating it. And perhaps that is the first step, is by recognizing that every human being in the world, no matter their nation, their religion, their politics, carries the same fragile hopes that we do. They love their children, right? They fear loss. They want dignity. They want safety. They want meaning. Memorial Day should not only remind us of sacrifice, it should also remind us of the terrible failure of human imagination that makes war seem inevitable. The question is not whether humanity has the ability to wage war. History has answered that question many times over. The deeper question is whether humanity has the moral courage to choose another path. And so I ask, after millennia upon millennia of warfare, what price are we willing to pay to end war? And now, when we talk about the price to pay and we talk about feeding people, I want to invite up Rachel Deach. We're going to show a video about our share of the plate, Meals on Wheels, and then Rachel will tell us a bit about what they're doing.
A warm meal is more than food. For seniors in our community, it's care, compassion, and peace of mind. Too many seniors are waiting for a knock at the door, a homemade meal, a friendly hello. And the wait means kindness arrives right on time.
My name is Jessie Edwards. I'm a Meals on Wheels client. I've been in Sarasota for 71 years.
My name is Andrew Sherwin, and I'm a Meals on Wheels volunteer.
And thanks to Meals on Wheels, I don't have to worry about lunch. It took a burden off my sister from taking her break trying to get here and give me lunch and go back to work. So the Meals on Wheels was a help to me and her. With Meals on Wheels coming, I'll wait for them to come. It's not so much about the food, it's the friendship we have with each other.
It's given me purpose. I lost my mother right at the same time that I was forced into retirement. And I don't like being retired. I want to be professionally active, and it gives me something important to do, and it gives me something good to do for other people. So the fulfillment is that I'm given a good purpose.
I'm thankful for Meals on Wheels because it lightens the burden on my family, and you can always count on them.
Connection flows in every direction at Meals on Wheels Sarasota. In every smile shared, every meal delivered, and every conversation at the door. More than 80% of our clients say they feel less alone because of these daily visits, and for our volunteers, those same moments bring purpose, friendship, and joy, because when we reach out and support one another, we all grow a little closer.
With your support, more seniors can feel connected, more meals can be delivered, and more days can begin with dignity and reassurance. Be part of the solution. Our seniors are waiting. Help us end the wait.
Good morning. This scene is repeated 450 to 500 times per day as volunteers deliver meals across Sarasota County, from Laurel Road up to University. The meals, the social interaction, the wellness checks help keep our neighbors independent and reduce the feeling of isolation. The delivery operation relies on 45 volunteers per day. That's 225 volunteer slots that need to be filled every week. Based on financial criteria, 56% of the clients receive meals for free. 24% pay a reduced rate averaging $2, and 20% pay a standard fee of $6. Meals on Wheels of Sarasota relies on community support to cover this cost. They do not receive state funding or federal funding. Preparing fresh meals in the kitchen on Lime Avenue 5 days a week is only possible with the generous support of people like you. I'll be at the social justice table after the service if you'd like more information on Meals on Wheels, including volunteer opportunities. Thank you.
Just a reminder, 100% of whatever you put in the basket goes to Meals on Wheels. So please be as generous as you can to help feed those in our community. For those online or here on your cell phone, there is a link to donate as well in the YouTube video or the QR code in your order of service or behind me. Let this sacred time begin. Our next reading is Songs for the People by Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. Let me make the songs for the people, songs for the old and the young, songs to stir like a battle cry wherever they are sung. Not for the clashing of sabers, nor for the carnage, nor the strife, but songs to thrill the hearts of all with more abundant life. Let me make the songs for the weary amid life's fever and fret, till hearts shall relax their tension and careworn brows forget. Let me sing for the little children before their footsteps stray, sweet anthems of love and duty to float over life's highway. I would sing for the poor and the aged when the shadows dim their sight, of the bright and restful mansions where there shall be no night. Our world so worn and weary needs music pure and strong to hush the jangle and discords of sorrow, pain, and wrong. Music to soothe all its sorrow till war and crime shall cease, and the hearts of all grown tender girdle the world with peace. And now, for some more music that is pure and strong, I invite up Syreeta Banks.
Go out and tell a story, let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you, make them hear you. How justice was our battle and how justice was denied. Make them hear you, make them hear you. And say to those who blame us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles that are more than black or white. And I could not put down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you, make them hear you. Go out and tell a story to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you, make them hear you. And tell them in our struggle we were not the only ones. Make them hear you, make them hear you. Your sword can be a sermon or the power of the pen. Teach every child to raise his voice, and then, my brothers, then will justice be demanded by 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you. When they hear you, I'll be near you.
Many years ago, am I still on here? Okay. Many years ago, before I became a minister, I was taking a class on death and dying, and we were asked to write our own obituaries. It's a powerful exercise, and I really encourage you to try it someday. So I started mine. J. Wolin, at the age of 120, passed away peacefully. I went on to write, Jay, who was a notable philanthropist, left his vast wealth to his local Unitarian Universalist congregation. What can I say? I was young. I was aspirational. But then I had to stop, all joking aside. Is that really how I wanted to be remembered? And that is what makes this exercise so powerful. Because the next question becomes, how do I need to live my life so that my obituary will read the way I want it to read? And I had to ask myself, do I really want to spend my entire life making money, and how would I even do that? Or do I want to spend my life doing something else that would leave a different legacy? Well, I chose the latter. Not that money's bad. I like making money, but that was not my goal in life. Alfred Nobel faced that question as well under very different circumstances. Nobel is best known for the invention of dynamite, which he created actually as a more stable explosive after his younger brother was killed in an explosion at Nobel's own munitions factory. Nobel's patents, mostly related to explosives and weapons, made him extraordinarily wealthy. When one of his brothers died, actually, a French newspaper mistakenly published an obituary for Alfred Nobel instead. And it read, and I quote, "The merchant of death is dead. Dr. Alfred Nobel, who became rich by finding ways to kill more people faster than ever before, died yesterday." Now, there are many who believe that that obituary changed the course of Nobel's life. When we're forced to look in the mirror, to face ourselves and the consequences of our acts, something in us will tend to shift, hopefully. And although Nobel gave to peace organizations throughout the rest of his life and even wrote that he believed a sufficiently destructive device might end war once and for all, where have we heard that before? I have to say that rings pretty hollow for me. Right? I believed he used his wealth to balance the scale of his actions with his conscience, to pay the price for what he had helped create. Nobel's criteria for the Nobel Peace Prize is that it go to the person or organization who shall have done the most or the best work for fraternity between nations, the abolition or the reduction of standing armies, and for the holding and promotion of peace congresses, end quote. There have been some famous and even infamous Nobel Prize winners. Some recipients have become moral giants in human history: Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, the Dalai Lama, Elie Wiesel. What strikes me about these figures is not that they were perfect, is that they were willing to risk something. They were willing to risk ridicule. They were clearly risked imprisonment. They risked failure. They risked losing power, and sometimes even risked death. In 1981, Egyptian President, Nobel Peace Prize winner Anwar Sadat was assassinated only a few years after agreeing to a peace plan with Israel, a peace that has lasted until this day. As well, we know about Martin Luther King being assassinated for his work in civil rights. A peace requires courage, right? To know that you may die for working for peace requires courage, sometimes even more courage than going to war. Peace is not created though only by famous people, right? It's also created by ordinary people. All the work that went into created by those willing to march, protest, organize, vote, speak out, forgive, listen, right? And to keep hope alive. We have to remember, I said this before, hope is a discipline. We have to have the discipline of hope that things can get better, or else we will be led to despair. People must be willing to resist hatred, even when hatred feels easier. By parents teaching children compassion instead of cruelty. By neighbors refusing to dehumanize one another. By communities choosing reconciliation over vengeance. Rose Valland, who secretly documented the artwork stolen by the Nazis in France during World War II, once said, and I quote, "Destiny is not one push, but 1,000 small moments that through insight and hard work, you line up in the right direction," end quote. 1,000 small moments. I think that's probably one of the deepest truths I've read about peace. Right? Peace is not just built only through treaties and conferences. Right? Peace is built in our daily choices. How we speak with one another, how we treat strangers, how we respond during disagreement, whether we choose understanding or contempt, whether we allow for fear to harden our hearts. Every act we take can become an act of peace or an act of war. And that vision has long existed within Unitarian Universalism. In 1798, Universalist Benjamin Rush, signer of the Declaration of Independence, Secretary of the Treasury under 3 presidents, he issued a call for a federal Department of Peace. It's interesting thinking about that. We've just recently changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War, which it had been named that for many years before World War II. But back in 1798, we were calling for a Department of Peace. His universal faith, his belief in God's love for all of humanity, led him to believe that peace on earth was not merely a dream, but a moral obligation. In 2010, Unitarian Universalist congregations voted and approved a statement of conscience called Creating Peace, which in part states, we advocate a culture of peace through a transformation of public policies, religious consciousness, and individual lifestyles. At the heart of this transformation is the readiness to honor the truths of multiple voices from a theology of covenant grounded in love, end quote. Now I want to think about that. A culture of peace. Peace as a way of being, not just a tactic to achieve a goal. The philosopher Baruch Spinoza wrote, "Peace is not the absence of war, but virtue, a disposition for benevolence, confidence, and justice," end quote. Peace is not merely a political agreement. Peace is a spiritual discipline. It is choosing empathy when anger feels easier. It is resisting the temptation to divide the world into saints and sinners, or saints and sinners. It is remembering the humanity of people we fear. Right? It is having the courage to imagine a world beyond the endless cycle of revenge and violence. Memorial Day reminds us of the terrible cost humanity has paid for war. But perhaps it can also remind us of something else, that humanity is still capable of moral courage, compassion, and transformation. We've seen it before. We have seen former enemies reconcile. We have seen movements for civil rights transform nations. We have seen ordinary people risk comfort and safety for justice. We have seen individuals refuse hatred even after a profound suffering. The questions before us is not only whether peace is possible, the deeper question is whether we are willing to become the people capable of creating it. Whether we are willing to pay the price for peace. Not the price of violence, not the price of domination, but the price of courage, the price of compassion, the price of truth, the price of refusing to surrender our humanity to fear. Let us live lives of courage. Let us live lives of compassion. Let us create a world where we do what is right because it is the right thing to do. May we choose peace in 1,000 small moments of our lives. Let us be willing to pay that price. May it be so. Please rise in body and or spirit for our closing hymn, I've Got Peace Like a River. Peace, as if it is in some faraway dream. I search for you, I work for you, I yearn for you. Peace, elusive even in its simplicity, even as a newborn screaming for food. Peace, I have only known you in the quiet of my heart, When I am one with all that is peace, let me not wait until I am dead to accept you, to accept me. Peace be with you. Peace be with me. May we all find peace. Please join me now in extinguishing the chalice. The words will be up on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you all for your presence here today, and go forth and act with peace. Thank you.